Hello, it's Mr. Bush here, and today we're going to be going over different types of fronts. And there are four major fronts that we're going to be looking at. We have our warm front, our cold front, stationary, and occluded. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at a warm front real quick. Alright, a warm front is basically represented with these half circles here, and they typically move a little bit slower than a cold front. And the circles are basically indicating the direction the front is moving. So, what I like y'all to kind of think of it kind of like the sun in a way. Basically, they're kind of like these little half circles. Think of it kind of like half of a sun, warm, that sort of thing. Alright, so just one more time. Anytime you see the little half circles, go ahead and just either draw or write down sun. Remind you that, it's basically a warm front or it's going to be warm. It's not always going to be sunny, but that's a good way to associate the two. Alright, let's move on to a cold front. Alright, a cold front is going to be represented with these triangle shapes. And once again, the shapes indicate the direction the front is going to be moving. So, the front, basically that front will be moving down toward or sideways, and bringing the cold air in with it. Now I want y'all to think of icicles when y'all see the triangles, because that kind of will associate it back with cold, and like the wind is blowing in really fast, that sort of thing. Okay, let's go ahead and look at our next one, stationary fronts. Alright, a stationary front is represented with basically arrows of a warm front and a cold front on opposite sides. What this means is basically you have one front pushing one way, and then you have another front pushing the other way. And neither front is really winning, so as the name indicates, the front basically remains stationary. It doesn't go anywhere. And whenever you have the warm and the cold air mixing, basically the cold air cools down a little bit, the warm air warms up a bit, and you typically get rain because when the warm air meets the cold air, it can't hold the same amount of moisture, causing rain. And this is just a good little picture to indicate that. Hopefully you do not get quite this much rain, but in some countries it's not that uncommon. Alright, let's go ahead and look at our last one. It's going to be an occluded front. Now, an occluded front is basically just going to be when a cold front meets a warm front, and the cold front pushes stronger. So basically, the cold front is pushing the warm front backwards. So as you can see, the arrows are on the same side, meaning the front is moving in this direction. Now I put the little TCU thing there because it's probably Coach Johnson's favorite type of front, since it's often represented as purple. Let's go ahead and move on to how to read these on a weather map. Alright, whenever we're reading a weather map and you want to know how the weather's going to change, you have to look at what type of front it is and which direction it's moving. So if you look over here, we have basically a cold front moving down. So A, in this entire region over here, is going to get colder. And once again, you look for the arrows, which direction they're pointing. That indicates where the front's going. Now, sometimes you might have one like this, where you're up here by B. It might be attached to another one, but this part here is going to be moving upwards, and that's why B would basically become warmer in the next couple days. Alright, the last thing we're going to look at here is if you look right here at this part of the stationary front, that area is going to get a lot of rain because the front's not really moving, and you have cold air meeting with warm air, and 9 times out of 10 that causes a large quantity of rain or precipitation. Alright, hopefully this was helpful, and y'all have a great day.